Some of you people may remember several months ago, I did a vlog on some of the best starter pet snakes for some young beginners. Well, we're going to go ahead and do the complete opposite and tell you guys on what are some of the worst starter pet snakes that you guys should not be able to buy. So obviously the first snake right off the bat, you guys, that for anybody that is a beginner pet reptile guy, anybody who's out there watching this, obviously the worst beginner pet snake to get is probably a Burmese Python if you're a beginner, everybody. And the reason obviously is because Burmese Pythons, that obviously you guys, they're not little snakes. They start out little, but they do grow big though. And the reason that is, you guys, is because Burmese Pythons do require a lot of work here. And I don't mean like every other day. I mean like a daily. Whether if it's cleaning, adding water, cleaning their bedding, but not like feeding all the time, But the food, though, for them can be expensive once in a while. The cage enclosure size for them can be expensive. And also the heating can be a bit expensive as well. So, and let me tell you, it's not easy, you guys. Because obviously, even though I've never owned a Burmese Python, but from what I've heard experiences for beginner reptile lovers, they say it is not as easy as they thought, so, and they don't recommend them, as beginner pet reptiles, and I totally understand that, you guys, and also one of the reasons why they probably don't recommend them at all as starter pet snakes, you guys, is because at starting out as hatchlings, they are very, very popular, and usually are relatively affordable, usually $100 to $150 a piece for a normal baby Burmese Python, but the reason is also because they do have a pretty quick growth rate to them, believe it or not. A baby hatchling, you guys, within its first year, its first full circle year of its life can, if it eating properly, they could reach about within a maximum length of 6 feet within their first year of their life, you guys. That's right, they can range from about a couple foot in length, you guys, as a hatchling, if even that long when they're born, and can reach all the way up to about 6 feet within their first year of their life. So they do very, very have a big appetite and have a fast growth rate, you guys. So within its first couple years, it could reach possibly 12 foot. And once a snake reaches, like some people say, 6, 7, 8 feet long, some experienced reptile keepers, are thinking, okay, what do I do with this if I don't want it now? And that's why there are some cases down in South Florida. Some people, not all people, but there have been some cases where some people have turned their pet Burmese Pythons loose into the Florida Everglades before. And let me tell you, that is just literally the worst thing to do if you don't know what to do with a pet reptile you don't want anymore, you guys. Because literally in Florida, you guys, I have visited Florida several times, and there are so many variety of reptiles, so many animal sanctuaries or zoos, throughout the state of Florida that literally can take these animals in, you guys, if you don't want them anymore. And of course, anyway, in Florida in general, Burmese Pythons have been banned down there for years, you guys, from the pet trade, Obviously, because there's just so many of them thriving in the Florida Everglades, it's just been a nuisance. So, obviously, that's one of the big reasons why a Burmese Python is definitely not a beginner pet snake for anybody out there that's just getting into reptiles. Another snake, you guys, that's definitely not recommended for beginners starting reptile owners is definitely green anacondas, as another big example reptile, or big snake I should say, even though this is not a real one, just a little disclaimer for you guys there. But really, I have seen anacondas in person, and the reason they don't really make great starter pets, for obviously a few reasons. One, they actually are another big snake, you guys, that can range about 15 to about 20 feet in length. And they're actually regarded as one of the world's heaviest living snakes on the planet right now, with some specimens have been recording to about a little over 300 pounds. And think about that, you guys. If somebody owns, like, their first pet snake, let's say they owned a green anaconda, and they've kept it 20 plus years later, and the snake probably weighs close to 300 pounds. That's going to be really, really big, you guys. But at the same time, though, I guess 20 years is a long time when you think about it. But as a kid, though, when you're like maybe 10, 11 years old, a green anaconda is definitely not going to be the one you're going to want to start with, because unlike most other big snake species, you guys, green anacondas, or any of the anaconda species, whether it's green anacondas or yellow anacondas for that matter, they're actually an aquatic snake species, you guys. They thrive most of their lives in water. And so unlike most big snake species that require big terrariums or enclosures, you guys, most green anacondas are going to want to spend most of their time in water. So, and getting an aquarium very large enough to hold a massive 15-20 foot green anaconda weighing a couple hundred pounds, it's not going to be that easy, you guys. That's going to literally cost you probably close to a few $1,000s at minimum, you guys. So it ain't gonna be cheap. It's not cheap to afford a green anaconda either. Some of them can go about $300 to $400 a piece for newborn, captive-born babies, and they're actually probably gonna want to. What's the word for it, you guys? Some people also probably have seen the movie Anaconda with Jennifer Lopez and Ice Cube. That movie is total fiction, by the way. Some people might think about anacondas from that movie, but in reality, they're totally docile animals. But at the same time, though, you guys, it depends on how much captive breeding is going on. Because for a number of years, when green anacondas were imported here into the United States, most of them were wild-caught animals, and they were always, so nippy. You guys always trying to bite and stuff. But, with captive breeding going on, I mean, it's obviously, after one captive breeding generation to the next, there's normally more docile green anacondas being produced. But again, for anyone that's a beginner pet reptile owner, definitely not a great starter pet snake, you guys. So, and obviously, the cost for fooding is going to be also expensive as well. And same thing for heating, you guys, because since these are a tropical environment animal, they are going to require higher humidity. So, in a climate like my area here, where it's dry for most of the year, it's not going to be easy to maintain the humidity pretty high. So, but yeah, green anaconda is definitely another one that's definitely not a great starter pet snake for any beginners. Ariel looks so beautiful after shedding that skin the other day, you guys. She hasn't eaten in a little while though, but she is due to eat here in the next few days. And obviously, she is giving me that look, and she's slowly coming right up to me thinking that I got food for her. But obviously I don't, girl, so I'm sorry to say that, honey. But you will have food soon, though, I promise you. I will not forget. But anywho, though, nonetheless, it's just absolutely awesome that she shed her skin to you guys. Like I said in the last vlog, I wish I could have got it on camera, but I think the next time when she goes and shed you guys and starts to go ahead and get the skin off, I'll try and see if I can get my GoPro and actually do a time-lapse for you on it. So, but nonetheless, though, I'm just glad she's finally out of shed, though, and completely a much better one, too. And obviously, the enclosure is doing great, you guys. I got the humidifier for her that helped her get that shed skin off, you guys, because obviously, humidity at this time of the year is important to help them get the shed skin off. And no, girl, there is no food. I don't have food. I keep telling you that. Just stop begging, please. You gotta really control yourself here, girl. This next one is obviously a pretty unpopular one, but that's obviously because it's not that often sold in the reptile pet trade here in the US anymore. That would be African rock pythons, and African rock pythons, everyone has probably heard about them before. They've obviously been known to have a pretty bad temper with them, because obviously with the number of imports there used to be in the United States years ago, all the ones that were wild caught and imported were always mean and nasty, always trying to bite all the time all around them and people and stuff like that. Even with captive breeding that's been going on for years too, in some parts here in the United States, some of them can still be a little bit nippy, but not so defensive. And these animals, African rock pythons, they're not quite as docile as like Burmese pythons or green anacondas either, so well, that's pretty much cleared anywho. But regardless though, they are also a very large snake too, you guys. Some specimens have been found to be up to 20 feet in length and a couple 100 pounds. And obviously there's been some debate on what the numbers are down in the Florida Everglades about them, because I've heard a few reports about them, but at the same time, honestly, no one knows if there's a whole big population of them down in the Florida Everglades or not, because really, there is not that whole lot of sightings of them from what I've heard over the years. Normally, it's just the Burmese pythons, but nonetheless, either of those two is still not okay in Florida, but that is because Florida has banned a majority of the big snakes like green anacondas, Burmese pythons, African rock pythons, reticulated pythons even, so it's just probably not the best place to live if you guys are reptile lovers. Even though Florida's a beautiful place, it's just probably not the best bet, one, if you're bringing in big snakes to own as a pet. So, but regardless though, African rock pythons, definitely not one to get on your list either. So, unless you actually want to take the risk on actually trying to get a few bites from time to time. So, but if you want to, be my guest. I'm so excited, everybody. We only have 6 more days until Jurassic World Dominion drops in theaters, you guys. So if you guys haven't gotten your tickets yet, I'm going to leave the Jurassic World website down below in the description to get your guys' tickets, because I am going to see it on opening night, June 10th, you guys. So I'm so stoked about it. I'm going to be bringing a couple friends of mine along the way. So I just can't wait, you guys. Only 6 more days. I can't believe it's coming in so fast. Oh, man. Oh, wow. I don't even know where to start, you guys, but absolutely awesome, you guys. So stay tuned for it, you guys. I'm super excited to actually bring you guys along for this upcoming movie. So the worst list of them all, you guys, for some of the worst starter pet snakes you guys would obviously have to rank is venomous snakes. Now, it's obviously very simple on why they are the worst starter pet snakes. And obviously it's because there's venomous snakes out there. But then again though, there are different kinds of venomous snakes though that do have very mild venom, but there's some that have super duper toxic venom too. So I guess it depends on the exact species you get, maybe. I'm not sure. But nonetheless though, either way, venomous snakes overall, definitely one of the worst on the list. So with that being said, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and end that video here for y'all watching. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button for me and turn on that notification bell if you guys haven't. And I promise I'll see y'all in the next one.